Next on WCCO-4 News, the Timberwolves blow a 15-0 lead. See how. Also tonight, a child clings to life after a daring rescue from a burning house in Oakdale. And police say that an 11-year-old boy escaped an abductor who snatched him from this bus stop. WCCO-4 News starts right now.
Home of the 1998 Winter Olympic Games. This is the hometown team. WCCO-4 News.
Hello, I'm Amelia Santinello. Don Shelby has the night off. Tonight, a father and his 2 children are hospitalized after a house fire in Oakdale. As WCCO's Frederica Freiberg shows us, their survival is just short of miraculous.
Fire flames like at least 10 feet high shooting out the side of the window.
Babysitter Jeannie White watched in horror, knowing the family next door was inside the burning home this morning.
It was going pretty good, and the initial findings of the father pulling the son out.
Just as firefighters arrived, the father broke out a front window to pull his 4-year-old son to safety, but his 9-year-old daughter was still inside.
I grabbed my gear out of the back of my car and put on an air tank in there and put that on.
Deputy Chief Jeff Anderson knew there was no time to waste, so he went in, but blinding black smoke reached nearly to the floor. Flames raged down the hall and in the back bedrooms where the child was trapped, the size of the fire doubling every minute.
At one point when I didn't find her in that room, I thought went through my head that I had to find her soon because of the conditions in there, and they were getting worse.
We didn't know when we initially found her, whether she even had a pulse or not.
The girl was unconscious but alive, thanks to the daring and heroics of the firefighters. And thanks to his own father's daring, a little boy also made it out alive. But it was so dicey for a few minutes there, the search and rescue team questioned their own survival.
This is, I guess, one of the tougher ones I've been on in the 19 years I've been here.
This was one fire, potentially so deadly, it had even veteran firefighters saying their prayers. In Oakdale, Frederica Freiberg, WCCO-4 News.
The 4-year-old boy is in critical condition tonight. His sister is in serious, and their father is listed in fair condition. Firefighters say that you should never go back into a burning building, whether it's to save mementos or a person, because more than likely you won't get out. Some fire safety tips: check your smoke alarms to make sure that they work. Make an escape plan and then pick a meeting place outside. And practice. Run a drill to see if your kids can handle it. One person is dead and another is injured tonight after a car accident in Shakopee. Police say that around 5:30 this evening, a Jeep traveling in the northbound lane of County Road 18 heading towards 169 swerved off the road, hit a fence, and then hit a parked train. The passenger, 64-year-old J. Donald Coughlin of Springfield, Pennsylvania, died at the scene. The driver, 39-year-old John Coughlin of Eden Prairie, is in stable condition at HCMC. The warnings and barricades are up on Lake Marion and Lakeville, but still people are driving cars and snowmobiles on the ice. Police say that last night a car broke through about an inch of ice right in the middle of the lake. All 3 fishermen inside the car made it out safely, but the car is under 14 feet of water. Minneapolis police are asking for help in locating what they consider a child molester. Last week, a boy managed to escape the attacker at 41st in Chicago. As Esme Murphy reports, police are concerned that the suspect will try again.
Police say this man tried to abduct and sexually assault an 11-year-old boy. The attack happened as the boy waited alone at this bus stop the evening of December 26th.
The man grabbed the boy right away and dragged him to his car, which was parked in an alley right near that intersection. Started taking off the boy's clothes and tried to sexually assault the little boy in the back seat.
The boy managed to escape unharmed. The man drove off. He is described as a white male, mid to late 40s, 6 feet tall, with a medium build and a bald spot, and he stutters. The suspect's car is a newer model white 4-door with tan leather interior, and there was a price on the windshield. Police believe the man could have had the car out for a test drive from a dealership.
Police say they've been checking with dealerships all week, but so far they have not been able to trace the car or the suspect, and that's why they're appealing to the public for help. Their concern is that this man will strike again.
Residents we spoke with are concerned.
My cousins come over all the time, and they're little kids. And so now I have to worry about them, wondering if they're going to be okay.
This time a child escaped unhurt. Police worry the next victim might not be as lucky. Esme Murphy, WCCO-4 News.
Minneapolis police ask that anyone with any information about this crime to please call them or your local police department. A 16-year-old girl and her father were arrested after the drinking and driving death of a 16-year-old St. Paul boy. Kevin Brockway was killed New Year's Eve. His passenger, Mark Roy Adams, is hospitalized in critical condition tonight. Flowers and other remembrances mark the spot on Upper Afton Road where their car hit a tree. Police say that they and other underage young people were drinking at this East Side house. The 51-year-old father is suspected of buying a keg of beer and hard liquor for the party.
There was an adult there, and he was watching over the party. But you get a group of kids that big, and it gets kind of hard to keep track of everybody.
Did he supply beer and or hard liquor?
I do not know.
I'm in shock. That this should have never even happened. Should never even been driving in the first place.
Now, this raises a question many parents eventually debate, whether to let underage kids drink while being supervised at home. WCCO's Gilda Unruh says that legally there's only one answer.
Authorities wonder if the death of 16-year-old Kevin Brockway is what it will take to teach parents that supplying alcohol to minors is illegal and can be deadly. Police say if a traffic accident is involved, it becomes a more serious offense called criminal vehicular operation.
If a parent or if an adult is involved with furnishing someone with alcohol, they can be charged with aiding and abetting criminal vehicular operation. And so they're ultimately part of that crime, which is a felony and a very serious offense.
If parents think it's safer for kids to drink at home or allow alcohol at parties in the home, police say it's time they knew that they can be held responsible.
I would assume that most responsible parents would think about that, and they would know that they're doing wrong by furnishing someone underage alcohol.
At Harding High School, friends of the dead and injured students said it's a dumb idea for parents to supply alcohol for their teens' parties.
I don't know any parents that do it, but I'm sure there probably is more that do it, and it should be a wake-up call.
Remember, even if you're open-minded about alcohol, the law is not.
Gilda Unruh, WCCO-4 News.
The father arrested in the St. Paul accident is out of jail tonight pending possible charges, but his daughter is still in custody. Former state Senate candidate John Darris sued the Star-Tribune today. The suit is over this article published on the morning of the primary election back in 1996. The charity fraud story had nothing to do with Darris, yet had his picture in it by mistake. He lost the primary by 104 votes. The paper has repeatedly apologized, saying that it was an innocent mistake. The lawsuit, though, claims that Darris was defamed, and the suit also claims that the newspaper broke an implied contract. Darris's photo was supplied only for use in the paper's election coverage. A politician who won is celebrating tonight, and the whole city is invited. Celebrating the start to his second term as mayor, Norm Coleman greeted guests at his inaugural reception. Festivities are underway at the Radisson Hotel in downtown St. Paul. It was crowded, perhaps because the city picked up part of the tab. Earlier, Mayor Coleman took the oath of office, but the inauguration raises the question, how long will he serve, and will he run for governor? He says he'll decide by the end of the month.
Of the United States, the Constitution and the laws of the state of Minnesota.
Minneapolis Mayor Sharon Sales Belton apparently has no plans to run for governor. She was also sworn in today for a second mayoral term. A mystery is finally solved tonight. What killed comic actor Chris Farley last month? Maureen Maher reports from Chicago that it was what many had suspected, a drug overdose.
Secrecy has shrouded the investigation into Chris Farley's death since his body was found in a Chicago apartment building on December 18th. At the time, authorities would not comment on the circumstances surrounding Farley's death, but test results from the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office have now confirmed that the former Saturday Night Live cast member died of a lethal mix of drugs. Test results released today concluded that Farley's blood contained cocaine and morphine, and that both lungs showed congestion, which is a common finding in opiate intoxication. The examiner also said that a narrowing of the coronary arteries contributed to the 290-pound actor's death, but that marijuana and prescription drugs, which were also found in his system, did not. Farley got his start at Chicago's Second City, but co-workers say despite his talent and success, Chris never overcame an ongoing inner battle.
Chris and other stars always found excitement in the work. And when they succeed in that challenge, the excitement is gone, and sometimes they look for something else to get the excitement, and they do some drugs, and then they like that excitement, so they do some more, but you can't get high anymore until you do a little bit more, and then you got to do a little bit more.
A Madison, Wisconsin native, Farley was buried in his hometown. His family has had no comment since his death. No alcohol was found in Farley's body, and the medical examiner is listing the comedian's death as an accident. Chris Farley was 33 years old. Maureen Maher, CBS News, Chicago.
One of the prescription drugs found in Farley's system was the antidepressant Prozac. Kennedy found